This film has taken a decade to make, and it's been the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Harder than the mountains I had to climb to tell this story. The adventures within, and the people I met along the way have profoundly shaped who I am today. One friendship in particular had an overwhelmingly positive impact on my life. They say you should never meet your heroes. This is the story of how I met mine, and the epic journey we shared together. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Namgya Sherpa, and I'm the owner of Grand Himalaya Treks and Expedition Private Limited in Kathmandu. I come from Taplejung district, village called Gyapla, which is on the lap of Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world. Kanchenjunga area is located in the very far eastern part of Nepal, border to India. It's kind of tough life growing in this area, as there is no sort of facilities of communication, transportations, and any other proper educational facilities in the area, which makes the life harder. As I could not complete the higher more than primary school, I had not so much options to get a proper job, so I started to helping my parents, who were sort of substantial farmer, owns a little bit of land and grow some vegetables, potatoes, wheat, buckwheat, and they own a yak farm where I invest like 5-6 years as a yak herder in the valley. One of the well-known Sherpa called Lobsang Zangbo, he was leading a Japanese expedition on Kanchenjunga in 1996, and I was involved in his expedition as a porter. I used to carry like 30 kilos of weight while I was doing the portering on this expedition, which is very normal for me. We do carry more than 50-55 kilos, so it was easy for me to carry 30 kilos. And at the end of that trip, he thought I would be strong enough to become a Sherpa, and at the end of his trip he was persuading me if I want to be a climbing Sherpa. Then I said yes, I would love to become a climbing Sherpa, then yak herder. So yeah, that was the connection with my climbing career.
I met Namgya in 2008 when I was invited to join a trek to the Langtang and Helambu regions north of Kathmandu. At that time he was just starting out leading treks on his own rather than working for someone else. So he was still a young man, a little bit nervous, quite quiet and reserved, but he cared very much about the people, about where they lived, the landscape, and the whole region.
When I first met Namgya, he was just so smiley and happy and friendly. Yeah, we really formed quite a friendship very quickly. Everything was fun.
I didn't meet Namgya until a few years later, by which point he'd become a bit of a legend among my friends and family. As a keen climber and mountaineer, I found inspiration following Namgya's adventures on Facebook.
I have climbed Everest many times, like 18 expedition, 15 summits, and I have climbed Choyu, Dhaulagiri, Manaslu, and then I've been working in Antarctica on Mount Vincent, and I've climbed more than 30 times on Mount Vincent. My biggest achievement was when I first climbed Everest. I was the first person to climb Everest from entire eastern part of Nepal, which is known as a Meiji Anchal. So after that, all the local put me a nickname called Meiji Namgya.
My first expedition with Namgya was in 2016. I wanted to climb something more technical in Nepal, and he suggested Amadablam, which is this beautiful, iconic mountain along the route to Everest Base Camp.
Amadablam is my favorite in Nepal, which includes all mixture of climbing, rock climbing, ice climbing, snow climbing. It's kind of challenging technically for everyone, but it's really nice mountain to be on the top.
6 of our team reached the summit, but Namgya only came as far as base camp. The winter before, Namgya had a near-fatal accident in Antarctica, where he fell over 1,000 meters while fixing ropes on Mount Vincent. Miraculously, he only broke his leg. From the summit, you're surrounded by the highest mountains in the world. But there was one giant way off on the eastern horizon which I didn't recognize. Namgya told me later this was Kanchenjunga.
It's special for me. It's because it's just close to my hometown. But I have never been able to climb that mountains.
By the time we got back to Kathmandu, we were already planning an expedition to climb Kanchenjunga. It's hard to find any information about the climb or the approach, so the following year, my wife Claire and I spent a month exploring the Kanchenjunga area, and we got to spend a lot of time with Namgya and his family.
My name is Namgya Sherpa. I am from Solukhumbu. We have been married in 15 years. When I saw him, he is a very hardworking and very honest, and handsome too. It's very difficult and challenging for me because when he was in the mountain, it's very. I feel like whether he come back safely or not. So I always pray for him and as well as other also because other people, other Sherpa also has a family. So it's very tough for us.
Namgya invited us over to his house for dinner, and they were very warm and welcoming and just made us feel like family. By the end of the night, Yankila, his youngest daughter, was calling me Claire Didi, which means big sister.
That recon trip gave me the confidence I needed. We set a date for the spring of 2020 and spent the next 2 years training, building a team, and figuring out the logistics of getting everything we needed to base camp. We had over 100 oxygen cylinders, each weighing 4 kilograms, and around 50 tents to be placed all over the mountain. An advanced team of 7 Sherpas left Kathmandu for base camp with 4.5 tons of food and equipment loaded into a truck. But right before I boarded my plane bound for Kathmandu, after years of planning and training, COVID-19 spread across the world. Nepal closed its borders and all climbing was cancelled. It took another 2 years before we could try again. This was the first time our team had ever met in person, and it was basically an international reunion of Namgya's fan club. Climbers from Nepal, Canada, USA, Romania, Netherlands, India, and Australia.
We have multiple nationalities climbing. I would go positive message to different countries, and to promote the area for the local people, better for the local people. And I was looking forward to climb this, especially with you, John, as we were planning since 2017.
The Kanchenjunga region, to begin with, is very hard to reach. It takes a flight from Kathmandu, then it takes a very long and bumpy and uncomfortable jeep ride just to get to the start of the trek. And then once you're in the region on foot, you're first in jungle and then you're in wide plains, and it's so vast and varied. Finally, you reach these huge snowy peaks and you're just awestruck.
Approach to base camp is a lot harder than on an Everest. I used to, do a day trip to base camp in one day, easy. Which is, if I do this now, this would be impossible to do that, because of all the glacier, melted and changed a lot since then.
Our base camp was incredible. We had the penthouse suite overlooking the Yalung Glacier. The Sherpas had dug out and levelled off over 20 tent pads. We all had our own personal 3-man tent, plus 2 large mess tents, a cook tent, and even a shower tent. It was luxury considering we were at 5,500 meters, surrounded by giant glaciers and constant avalanches. The Sherpas did an incredible job making such a remote and hostile place feel like home.
They are originally come from Tibet many years ago. They moved to Nepal, lived in the northeast part of Nepal most of the time. That's why they call Sherpa, because in Tibetan language, Sher is like east, Pa is the people who lives in the eastern part of Nepal. That's why they call Sherpa.
The Sherpa people are very, very special, of course. They are together with the Tibetans, a special tribe. They have very specific values, family values, and other values which I cherish. If you work with them more often and do more often things, they more and more consider you family, treat you like that. And I think if I look over the past 10, 12 years, there's a steady progression in, how should I call it, intimacy with Namgya, but not only with Namgya, also his wife, his brother, his whole family. I think it's very special. In addition, they are very friendly, very welcoming, very hospitable. So it's really, really very nice to be with them and work with them.
Mostly they travel with the clients, supporting their necessary, carrying necessary supplies like tents, oxygen, food, stuff like that, delivered to each camp, and fixing ropes and helping clients if necessary. More they carry, more they get paid. So like company pays like a per kilo based. So more they carry, more they get. So usual like 14 kilos, 15 kilos. Yeah, but some young, energetic climbers carry like 20, 25 kilos.
Very nice walk. Ooh.
By the time we started climbing, all the hard work had been done for us. A team of elite Sherpas did the real climbing, fixing 5 kilometers of rope all the way to the summit through dangerous conditions and high avalanche risk. They uncovered countless crevasses which we jumped back and forth across throughout our climb. Our Sherpa team had already set up the high camps and stocked them with food and oxygen. We just had to clip into the rope and pull or juma our way to the top. Climbing those first steep snow slopes towards Camp 1, I remember thinking, this is it. I'm finally climbing Kanchenjunga. I'm finally climbing with Namgya. This is what we've been dreaming of for the past 5 years. But that was the only climbing we did together. The following morning, Namgya was flown to hospital in Kathmandu. After we postponed our expedition in 2020, Namgya learned that he had cancer in his esophagus, and over the next few years he went through endless rounds of chemotherapy and radiation therapy. He started to lose his voice, but his optimism that he would climb with us never faded. We all urged him to stay in Kathmandu and rest, but he insisted on flying back and forth to base camp so he could oversee the expedition in between rounds of therapy. But when he was away, we were left in good hands.
My name is Namgya Sherpa. I'm from Solukhumbu district of Nepal. It is located way of the Mount Everest. So I climb Mount Everest, Mount Lhotse, Mount Manaslu. My first experience was Amadolom. I think you know with you, but that time I could not summit because of some problem. I think still I could not say anything about the Kanchenjunga because just I have been to the Camp 2 and a little bit above the Camp 2. So, but it is a very beautiful mountain. I'm very excited for the summit here because this is a new mountain for me above the 8,000. So, I think it will help me because it will be more 8,000 for me for my career, for my for my future. So.
Over the next few weeks, under Pemba's leadership, we slowly but surely made our way up the mountain. And that was where our good fortune ran out.
It was so very unfortunate that one of our climbing team member got to the summit. Happy, he was on the summit. Then, literally like half an hour later, we had a radio call from one of our staff saying, one of our team member fell down, failure of anchor. That was above around 8,400 meters, very, very close to summit. He got big injury on his eye, which he can't see, and he also broken leg. So, and then I lost all hope. No chance we can bring him down alive. Two staff members, Namgya Sherpa from Lukla and Lakpachring Sherpa from my village from Gapla. They did really good job bringing him down safely. All went well, he survived.
What Pemba and Lakpa achieved on that rescue is nothing short of a miracle. They spent 36 hours in the death zone, through the night, while low on oxygen, food and water. And despite our climber not actually having broken his leg, he still had to be lowered through dangerous and technical terrain. It just speaks to the courage and the strength of these Sherpas. That wasn't the only excitement on the descent. People got caught in avalanches, fell in crevasses, narrowly missed rockfalls, and a couple of our climbers fell seriously ill with altitude sickness and had to be evacuated. It was like Kanchenjunga was telling us, not so politely, that the party was over. It was hard to leave Kanchenjunga behind us, but as it happens, the party wasn't over yet. We strolled back down through the deep valleys and lush jungle, drinking homemade rice wine from an old Sprite bottle, as we reflected on the success of the expedition. It took years of planning, and despite his illness, despite a global pandemic, and despite being away from his team for days at a time, Namgya put 15 people from 6 countries on the summit of the 3rd highest mountain in the world on his first attempt. But more importantly, everybody came home. The celebrations continued through the next few days, with singing, dancing, and a lot more homemade alcohol. Leaving Nepal was really difficult. I didn't want it all to be over because it had consumed so much of my life. I was sad to say goodbye to the Himalayas, to our amazing team who had become like family, and most of all, to Namgya. I really wasn't sure if I'd ever see him again.
I'm a nature lover. I rather like to be on the mountains, on the hills, with the clients, climbers or trekkers, rather than being in the chair in office. I find a lot of fun climbing and hiking in the remote places. At the moment, I'm unable to continue with my guiding career or having fun with clients on the mountains or trekking because of my personal health issues. But I do hope that I can get back to the climbing or hiking in the Himalayan as soon as I get better. Yeah.
What stood out most for me would be his tremendous strength, both, as I said earlier, his strength of character and physical strength. And then when his illness struck, he was out in the mountains again, leading people all over, in between visits to hospital. And it was that ability to carry on and keep going in spite of it all that I think really stands out.
What I'll remember most about Namgya was his happy, smiling face and how he was always so positive, and his amazing capacity for friendship. He would ring me from Antarctica at Christmas to wish me happy Christmas on a satellite phone, and kept in touch even though we lived on opposite sides of the world. He was just such an amazing and inspirational person.
What stands out most to me about Namgya is how kind and thoughtful he was. I can honestly say there is no one like Namgya. He left a mark on all of us that was just so positive.
Every moment and day spent there very special, but every day is special and very memorable. But my favorite one is we did the Everest Space Camp trip in 2021. We are on the mountains because he loves mountain very much. That part is the favorite to me, most favorite part to me.
Yeah, Namgya was one of the great Sherpa, as I see him as my hero or something. He has done a lot of contribute in the tourism industry. He has come from a very simple background, but he has achieved to that levels. And I would like to say thankful to all guests to help to Grand Himalaya. And I would like to say come again. The Grand Himalaya is still there, which operated trekking expeditions. And thank you so much.
We're returning to where it all began, the Langtang Valley in Nepal, where my dad and my sister first met Namgya Sherpa 17 years ago. And this time, we've got a very special team. Namgya's wife, Wangmu, their youngest daughter, Yankila, his brother-in-law, Jangbu, his auntie, Kanshi, my wife, Claire, our daughter, Alexandra, her auntie, Ellie, and of course, me.
This trip is very special to me. It's my first trip after the demise of Namgya, and with Yankila and Alex, I see 1.5 years only. So this is very special to me, this trip is.
The hardest part for me was going uphill, and I really enjoyed this trip because we all spent this trip together. And I really like Langtang because there is such good view, and in Kathmandu there is none, and it is my second time seeing snow.
Grand Himalaya is special to me because after the demise of my husband in 2022, I am running the Grand Himalaya. In Nepal, there's only the few company who run by the women, so I want to continue this Grand Himalayas to run by my daughters. I want to keep the Namgya legacy. He loves the tourism sector very much. He loves the mountains, so I want to continue this legacy in the future also.
I enjoy doing indoor climbing like bouldering and gymnastics. In the future, I hope I can do one of them or help with my father's business with doing climbing.
I would like to say thank you so much for John, Claire, and Illy, and especially the Alex. This trip is very special to me, and thank you so much.
This story has spanned the last 10 years of my life. I count myself incredibly lucky, not just to have met my hero, but to have gone on incredible adventures with him to high and remote places. And though our time climbing together was brief, those moments are worth more to me than reaching any summit. Namgya had a rare gift, the power to unite people from across the world with nothing more than kindness and friendship. He taught me that the greatest reward doesn't come from chasing my own dreams, but from helping others achieve theirs. That was his way, and it's a legacy I endeavour to continue. This chapter of our journey may be over, but a new one is just beginning. Together, our daughters have already experienced the magic of the Himalayas and the warmth of the Sherpa spirit. The story continues, not in our footsteps, but in theirs, as they make their own friends in high places.